Good afternoon, everyone. This video is brought to you by TrueLeafMarket.com, heirloom and organic seeds for any grow zone on our planet. Flooding and debris flows possible. California, massive snowfalls on tap. Fourth nor'easter is going to roll up the East Coast as it progresses through Thursday and Friday, and as it does, when it loops back on itself, it's going to drag Arctic temperatures down. Look at where the snow is going to fall initially over these next couple of days. A foot plus around New York. You know what the snows were like during the last 1, 2, and 3 nor'easters. Erie, Pennsylvania is going to break even its all-time snow record more with this snowfall. And looking up to see the delay in the cherry blossom blooms, Google, they gave me a warm weather article as the very first entry. But the peak bloom has been pushed back at least 10 days. So this is what it's going to look like when you arrive with the snow on top. And while you're watching, please remember to subscribe to Adapt 2030 and click that bell so you can get the latest updates. And this is the winter that keeps on giving. These unusually heavy snows across Europe, UK, Ireland, and down into Northern Africa and Morocco. West Coast, United States, debris flows possible. Southern California, atmospheric river. First, notice the high moisture over the Hawaiian Islands. That is going to be pulling all the way into California over the next several days, if not a week or more. You can see where it's going to hit the coastal areas from San Fran down to Los Angeles. And rain and snow it is going to be. All the way up past British Columbia into Canada and down through LA. Multiple feet of snow on the mountain ranges. Several inches of rain. Flash flooding absolutely going to happen. Santa Barbara, 3 to 5 inches. And that ski season looks like it's going to continue this year into, June as well, like it did last year when we were told this was going to do a mega drought and we would not know what water was again, and they had to ration, and they told got to pull up your plants. You can't grow plants because there's no water. And here we are, the second year in a row. Massive floods, flash floods. And I use another screen grab here from the Weather Channel. Look how that cold air is going to swing down as that fourth nor'easter heads up midweek. Wait a second, that headline says Storm Toby. It doesn't say anything about the fourth nor'easter. I wonder why they didn't want to say the fourth one. Anyway, let's take a look at the weather map here. You can see clearly in the dark green and the blue on the East Coast where that storm is centered. And it is going to continue heading north. And as I say, it's going to pull back in on itself, looping. And when it does, those wind patterns are going to pull Arctic air from Canada down into the central United States along the East Coast later next week. And you start to see that lightish purple up near Hudson Bay. That's the air temperatures that are going to be pulled down next week. So it's pretty visible here. The below normal temperatures on both coasts, and in Texas we have that spot of heat. And take a look all the way down in Cuba, how below normal temperature that is, in Florida as well. Seminole Indians called snow the Great White Rain in the Maunder Minimum. Now, glimpsing back at the third nor'easter, this was the snow depth total that was left in the wake of that storm. And as nor'easter 4.0 drives its way up the East Coast to the Maritimes of Canada, this is where the snow will be left. All the way down into Tennessee, North Carolina, but I want to focus right on the East Coast when we're in Virginia, D.C., Maryland. Let's take a look at the snowfall that's coming down there because this affects the cherry blossoms as well, which have been pushed back. Easily a foot or more New York City coming down over the next few days. This will take us out through the 23rd. Look at the progression of this, and this is on the 23rd. So you can expect more snow, strange hail and sleet to accompany this event. And along with these snows that may break many records for depth, Erie, Pennsylvania is going to eclipse their all-time snow record, and it's just going to keep adding and adding and adding. Because Nor'easter 3.0 added more snow, and now Nor'easter 4.0 is going to add possibly up 6-8 inches to a foot. 30 centimeters more on top of this. This will probably be up around 14 and a half feet by the end of the season. Glimpse here for you. You can see where the snow totals are going to be coming in. Most of it's between 12, 18 inches in that purple area. And also noticing that the Cherry Blossom Festival is going on, as well as it is in Tokyo. Tokyo this year is exactly the same time as it was last year, perhaps 1 or 2 days early. But here in the US on the East Coast, it has been delayed by 10 days. So I jumped over to Google to see what would come up. And I put in the search term, cherry blossoms delayed by cold weather in DC. And guess what I get in the Google search result as the very first entry? Does warm weather mean earlier blooms? That's not an agenda, is it? Anyway, the second two matched up, and then I had to actually go into the news to get what I was looking for. So if you're going down to look at the cherry blossoms, they're going to look more like this, covered in snow. And they're also going to be delayed. As you can see, the National Park Service pushed that back March 27th to the 31st. And Washington Post pushed theirs back from March 23rd to March 30th, a full 7 days. You're going to see snow on the trees. Beautiful sight, though. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video. When you're growing your own food, you're going to have to take into consideration as the grand solar minimum intensifies some of these later season snows and cold events that will kill your crops.